This is part 2, and it comes after part 1. Do with that what you will. Lex is on some news show and reveals a before lost part of a message from Superman's Krypton parents. Wow, how exciting. But before that, so this Godzilla guy was sent as a distraction from Lex so Superman wouldn't go to the fortress while he's getting evidence or something or whatever. So how the fuck is Lex back in Metropolis already with a message ready on the news? He just wouldn't have time. So Lex must have fucking mistimed the distraction because it took a while to grow and just got lucky Superman wasn't at the fortress while he was, and therefore this whole Godzilla shit was utterly pointless. Nice job, movie. So the message. I suppose I should read the first part, which is chill, that Clark is weirdly obsessed with. We love you more than heaven, our son. We love you more than land. Our beloved home will soon be gone forever. The hope vitalizes our hearts, and that hope is you, Kal-El. We have searched the universe for a home where you can do the most good and live out Krypton's truth. That place is Earth. Alright, and this is the second part.
The people there are simple and profoundly confused, weak of mind and spirit and body, lord over the planet as the last son of Krypton.
Dispatch of anyone unable or unwilling to serve you, Kal-El. Take as many wives as you can, so your genes and Krypton's might and legacy will live on in this new frontier.
Do us proud, our beloved son. Rule without mercy.
So, not good. But hey, it could be worse. Okay, not much worse. It's pretty bad, and the message is more than confirmed by the movie in ways that don't even make any sense. It really wants you to know it's real.
28 of the world's top linguists have confirmed the translation, and 30 of the top forensic computer techs have confirmed the validity of the footage itself.
So I guess Lex had time to do all that as well. Whatever. And this message. So Clark's Krypton parents' plan was to let a family take him in as a child, I suppose. Let them bring him up with their own values and lessons to then tell him to be evil later. Is this not just fucking retarded? No? Or did they not expect him to be raised by a family and just wander around as a baby? Or get picked up by some government and have tests run on him and shit? But in that case, how would he ever see the message? Also, how moronic is it to call out Earth for being profoundly confused while your fucking planet is blowing up? Are you fucking dumb, mate? And they are literally just telling him to be evil. There's nothing deeper. They sent one short as shit message. They don't even have AI Jor-El like 1978 Superman. How is this message supposed to be convincing? It's so stupid and silly. And before we get to the consequences of this whole thing, let's think about all that had to happen for this message to get out into the world, with it being a complete shock to Clark. To start with, I guess Superman's Krypton parents had to send him a message in the first place, with the first half being chill and the second half being absolutely insane. Then only the second half of the message had to die in transport, so Clark becomes attached to the chill first half. If the whole message got to Earth, then I would presume Clark would get rid of it. Lex's insane plan at the start of the movie had to work, with Clark choosing to leave after losing a fight to the fortress, but still having enough energy to get there. Whatever. Bizarre. An engineer woman somehow in some way had to track him down without him noticing her, and without him noticing her when flying back, she also had to find the base in time before it sank into the ground. Then she had to somehow repair the full message with a nano bullshit from alien tech, with the big suck, which the Krypton robots couldn't even do. And then there's the message itself being in Krypton, a language that doesn't exist in the universe anymore. How do you translate a language that doesn't exist? And how do the linguists confirm a translation of a language that doesn't exist? You can't just not explain this. Oh well, I guess you can. This plot point of a message is what the rest of the movie stems from, which is very bad considering the utter insanity of bullshit it took to get here. Now, back to it. So despite how Superman has been saving everyone for 3 years and has been everyone's favorite fella, the only reaction we see of the public to this is them instantaneously hating him. Everyone instantly believes some bald rich tech dude on the news. I do not buy it. I mean, do they not see his lack of hair? Whatever anyone tells them, people would question the authenticity of a message and not believe a translation of a dead alien language. And if you take the message as real and the translation as accurate, Superman obviously hasn't done what it says in 3 years. Lex squares this away by saying,
saving countless lives.
No, he's grooming us, lulling us into complacency so he can dominate without resistance, forging a path for his superpowered descendants to rule the Earth. Because who knows how large his secret harem is already.
So Superman would follow the taken wives part of the message, but not the rest until later, I guess. I mean, I'm not saying no one would side against Superman, but without actual concrete evidence of him being evil, I don't see how the vast majority of people wouldn't side with him. He is Superman, for God's sake. People love Superman in our world, and he's not a real fucking person. It is just utter insanity that everyone in the world would start hating him over fucking 4 lines of an alleged message from his parents from a dead alien language translated by Lex Luthor. And if everyone in the street yelling at him and throwing shit at him think he's evil, wouldn't they not do any of that and run away as fast and far as possible? I guess the same people were standing next to the fucking Godzilla, so I guess they're consistently brain dead. Like this girl's mother. Yeah, standing next to Godzilla is all well and dandy, but standing next to the guy who just helped defeat him. Stranger danger, children. The message hadn't even gone out yet, and yeah, everyone else was instantly in shock before the bad part of the message was even released. Literally just from a headline. It's all so shit. Mr. Terrific says to Clark,
I know there's computer forensics guys. They're not gonna say it's legit unless they are sure. I'm so sorry, man, but there's no way that message is fake.
For one, it's Krypton technology. Does that not change anything? Secondly, this came out a second ago. Lex could just be spouting garbage. There could be no computer forensic guys. But if there was, like what computer forensic guys? Or do you know every single computer forensic guy? And they're all legit. Every single computer forensic guy. What about Pete the pedophile? Is he legit? And none of them could be threatened or blackmailed or anything? This is just such a lazy line to convince everyone in and out of the universe that the message is real, when it so easily could not be. Lex is revealed to be in cahoots with a Baravian leader, and he's promised half of Jahanpur, because he really needs more than infinite space. I find it funny how the evil dictator man who hates Superman actually assumes a Krypton message is fake.
The fake message. A stroke of genius.
Unlike everyone else in the world, apparently. Clark sees the robots destroyed and discovers Krypto is missing, so busts a window and storms into Lex's office and starts flipping shit and shouting at Lex, and then gets recorded being angry. Of course no one's gonna side with Superman saying his dog got stolen, because who'd do that? And the news is just calling Superman alien? Are you taking the piss? That's like Fox News calling Obama black man. I guess I am fine with Clark's care for the dog clouding his sense of judgment, though I don't think I like him busting through the window and breaking his door down. It just looks scarily careless. What if this desk went through the window with shattered glass to land on people on the street? Whatever the case, after this emotional stunt by Clark, I would hope he starts to take shit more seriously and thoughtfully. He lost his first fight, then his second, very recently, to a guy stronger than him, probably from an evil nation that's trying to invade another. Lex managed to track down and get in the Fortress of Solitude, has the technology to get back a damaged Kryptonian message and translate it, and is strong enough to take down all his robots and capture or kill Krypto. And if Clark isn't an idiot, he should guess Lex is very likely tied with Bravia and the Hammerman, and the world is apparently buying into the whole fucking message somehow and hating his guts. Superman is in quite a situation. Time passes and Clark sits down in his apartment, which would be innocent enough if there wasn't a gigantium flying tentacles, eyeball fuck squid fuck, spewing fluorescent shit everywhere. I somehow find it hard to believe Clark would notice it when it's outside his fucking window. Lois seems none the wiser to the end of the world as we know it in front of her face, and asks Clark about his dog and gives him some cocoa, to then finally hint at a metaphorical elephant and asks if he was outside helping them, the Justice Gang.
You were out there helping them?
And Clark just looks to stare at her for a second, like she's lost her goddamn mind. What could this bitch possibly be yapping about? Lois even has to do a side nod to the end of times for Clark to finally look.
Oh no, that's just some dimensional imp. They've got that handled. I was looking for the dog.
The film is not allowed to do this. It cannot have Superman not helping with that thing just for him to call it a dimensional imp. Like, dimensional? Things like this can just spawn in from other dimensions now, and the world is just aware of these other dimensions, and things like this are such a common occurrence that this dimensional thing fucking the sky is just treated as a regular Tuesday. Why would I ever give a shit about some war of made up countries when things like this are just spawning everywhere in the world from other fucking dimensions? How many superheroes does the world have? How is the world dealing with this shit? And it's just impossible to convince me this is harmless and Clark knows it's harmless. Just look at it. Superman says the Justice Gang can deal with it, but we see them clearly struggling to deal with it out the window. The Godzilla guy wasn't exactly a walk in a park. Until it was, I guess. And I would think a dimensional being, such as this, would be way harder to deal with. Like, what's it even made of? Dimensional gloop? From the Godzilla fight, the Justice Gang seemed not nearly as careful as they should be with civilians. If Clark wasn't there, or wasn't strong enough, then all these people would have been smushed. Why is Clark trusting them with whatever the fuck this thing is? He's the same guy who saved a squirrel, except, you know, Andy wanted to take the Godzilla fella alive. The fucking gloop eyeball is clearly just there for a pretty backdrop, for a conversation, at the cost of character and logic. But who needs that when, well, pretty colors, and Clark said he was looking for his dog? What, like all day, just aimlessly wandering around? Isn't the obvious assumption that the dog is either dead or Lex has it trapped somewhere hidden? Is he stupid? Actually, wait, if he was really looking into Lex and stuff to find the dog all day, you'd think he might go to the LexCorp beach and then find the fucking pocket universe. But, can't have that happen. It would go against the script.
You trust everyone and think everyone you've ever met is, like, beautiful.
Tell that to the evil president guy he put against a cactus.
No, not torture. Its spikes were like not even that big.
Like, maybe he's more trusting and loving to regular folk, but rightfully he doesn't seem to be to bad guys, so...
Maybe that's the real punk rock.
It's for real punk rock to trust everyone and think everyone is beautiful. This feels like a message in the movie. But like already, he doesn't trust everyone clearly, and would he really think everyone is beautiful after they are all betraying him over fuck all? Is Clark's thoughts of the world betraying him over fuck all going to even be touched on in this whole movie? Spoiler, nope. And I just don't see Clark in this movie as some kind of beacon of trust and finding the good in everything kind of guy. He got pissed off at hashtag super shit. Fucking hashtag super shit.
The DOJ has a warrant out for my arrest, so I'm gonna turn myself in.
Wait.
They put a warrant out for his arrest? Why wouldn't they first just ask to talk to him nicely and figure out the situation? Shouldn't the Hammer of Bravia, the guy stronger than Superman who terroristed your city, be the bigger worry? No? And if Superman's evil, what the fuck is an arrest warrant gonna do? And wait, what was that? Clark is gonna turn himself in?
Why?
Good question.
Maybe they'll take me wherever they took the dog. I don't know how else to find him.
It is a wild assumption to think the government is working that in accord with Luthor and that they take you to the same place as the dog. Like, come on, is this seriously the best idea Clark can come up with? Cunt, how about you try going to the beach with Luthor's name on it?
It's a dog.
It's a dog? Implying it doesn't matter at all. Okay, now Lois is fucking Theon from John Wick. Why would you make your character say that? What the fuck? And instead you'd think Lois would bring up how unfathomably retarded Superman's plan is. He knows there's someone out there who rolled the fuck out of him. He thinks Lex is in complete ties with the US government, and yet he doesn't try to make some plans with the Justice Gang. He doesn't tell the world what's happening. Like, quite honestly, it sounds cringe, but we are in 2025. He could easily make like a TikTok explaining the message from his parents and his actual beliefs. It helps a lot that Lex, for some reason, kept a message glitching midway through, just before the bad part, which would make it so easy to explain what happened with a whole half good, half bad message thing. He could tell the world he's turning himself in to answer questions. So if anything goes awry, the world will know what happened. Anything is better than giving yourself up alone with no backup to the government you think are working with Lex Luthor, the guy who did all this and stole or killed your dog. But having said all that, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? And he's trapped in a pocket universe. God damn it.
Jesus Christ, the kid's an idiot.
Yeah, so just before that, Clark turns himself in to get cuffed by Ultraman.
No one read me my rights.
Of course, decided those rights don't apply to extraterrestrial organisms.
What, like right now the courts decided that? That's some quick politics? Or was that already a thing and Clark is just stupid? Well, at least that would be consistent.
Therefore, at this point, Superman, you don't have any rights to read. The government is very well aware of potential limitations detaining you, so we've outsourced your confinement and your interrogation to Planet Watch.
So Clark should be shaking in his boots right now. Like, Jesus fuck. He has no rights apparently, and is being taken to a place where the government at least thinks can detain him, and it wouldn't be hard for him to figure out that Planet Watch is obviously a Lex Luthor thing. So yeah, he's completely fucked. He should try to escape right here, right now. They should expect him, after learning all that, for him to try to escape right here, right now. But no, Clark just seems pretty calm about the whole thing, and the government are either fine with Lex having a pocket universe, surely not, right? Or I'm going to have to assume they just haven't even looked at how Lex is keeping Superman, which is so beyond absurd. The government people already made it clear they don't trust Lex, especially when it comes to Superman, because Lex has sold weapons to Bravia, the country that Superman stopped from invading another, and the country that almost definitely fucking terroristed them, which Superman also, well, tried to stop. We are already deeply trenched in madness for the government to be doing anything with Lex Luthor, especially stuff related to Superman. But at the very least, if the government are going to work with Lex, they would work with him closely, not just let him do everything from holding Superman to doing the interrogation on him with no oversight. It's all so unfathomably stupid. And the public did just see Superman turn himself in to be planed away. Is him turning himself in not a major sign of innocence? Does everyone still hate him? You'd think there would be protests and shit wanting to know what's happening to him, but no, there's just fucking nothing. Clark steps out of a portal and walks right into Lex's cage. Why he doesn't instantly break out, I do not know. Oh yeah, and the exit to the beach portal is completely different now to when Hammerman walked through it. There's no path to the other portal, which is now nowhere to be seen. That's interesting.
Where are we?
A pocket universe. I replicated the Big Bang with a LuthorCorp Mega Collider, tearing a tiny hole between the two universal fabrics. I'm able to access it from multiple dimensional portals I set up around the globe.
Lex has figured out replicating the Big Bang and portals into the universal fabrics and whatever. So run it back. Lex makes a Big Bang, tearing a hole between universal fabrics. Then what? How does he then get inside? He makes a dimensional portal. Like, okay, sure, buddy. And then what about the atmosphere? What about gravity? What about light? What about fucking everything? Lex just figures all this out while also creating all the other crazy shit. The fuck did he make this bloke for? He does all this before the world has cured cancer, before England has got air conditioning. It's just cosmically silly. Why wouldn't Lex just give the world infinite food, or cure every disease, or just take over the world and become dictator if he'd want to do that? But you know, whatever. The movie's got a movie. Anyways, shouldn't Superman be sweating so much right now? He could just get trapped in his other dimension for eternity. Why wouldn't he just break the glass, grab Lex's neck and say, take me to my dog and then take me the fuck out of here? Isn't that clearly the only play here? Like, the assumption should obviously be that Lex has a way, whatever it is, to trap him, and he should not want that to happen. He should probably think if Lex can make a universe, then it would probably be a walk in a park to make kryptonite, or maybe he just has some. Or, you know, at the very least, Clark should become suspicious when Lex is explaining to him about how the guy next to him is a metahuman known as an Element Man. He has been called into service for a very specific purpose. He can metamorphose into any known substance, even substances foreign to this planet, like kryptonite. Who could have seen this coming? Superman has been foiled by Lex Luthor once again.
Jesus Christ, the kid's an idiot.
I don't actually know how Element Jizz here knows how to make kryptonite when he seems to have to know what goes into a substance to make it. When did he get the knowledge of what kryptonite is made of? Or Lex somehow got that knowledge but can't just make any himself when he can make a universe. But whatever, obviously not a thought went into any of this. The news is showing Bravian troops moving to the Jampur border because Bravia is just letting all this get recorded and put on TV. That's very helpful. And it shouldn't take long for them to get to the border and invade. It isn't the fucking Middle Ages.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how Lex Luthor's connected to all this.
I would think Lois would be focused on a government kidnapping Superman and saying he has no rights and everything up with that. But instead she's looking into Lex Luthor.
I have a connection at Boda Bank. Boda handles the transactions between Luthor Corp and Bravia. Yes, Luthor Corp sold them approximately $80 billion worth of arms, but for those arms, Bravia paid only $1.625 billion.
Lois has a connection at a bank, which lets her see Lex's transactions with the country of Bravia. That is so very convenient. She just knows a guy at a bank. And more importantly, how the fuck is this information in the open? What is Lex doing? In fact, why has he allowed anyone to know he's doing any trading of weapons with the country of Bravia? Because, I don't know, that might connect him to this supervillain terrorist. Lex went for a bank to give weapons to the country of Bravia and gave them the weapons for a clearly suspiciously small amount, like there's something else going on.
Yes, Luthor Corp sold them approximately $80 billion worth of arms, but for those arms, Bravia paid only $1.625 billion.
Why in the fuck did he do any of that? Why not, hear me out, if Lex wants to give Bravia weapons for free, why not just give them weapons for free? Just hand them the weapons. Why the fuck would you go through fucking JP Morgan? What the shit? And if you didn't mind everyone knowing you're giving weapons to the evil country, then why not just have it seem at least above board and just let them give you the correct amount of money? Then it looks like it's just business. And you also get to have money if you do that, and money is good. Instead, Lex just goes through a bunch of effort to run head first into a car. Anyway, then Lois pours some sugar into... that's enough sugar. That's enough sugar, Lois. That's enough fucking sugar. Lois, put the fucking sugar down right now. I swear to God, Lois. I swear to fucking God. Thank you. This movie doesn't understand the concept of pouring sugar into a cup, and yet it has pocket universes in it. What could go wrong? So there's that one moment earlier showing this Jimmy fella is, as the kids say, a chick magnet. Kids do not say that. He's got the gift of a riz, but without even trying. Women just can't get enough of him. This is not only hilarious, but it's shockingly important to the plot, as it's supposed to set up for Lex's girlfriend to be in love with him, enough to give him any information he wants. Lex's girlfriend is in love with Jimmy, just out of literally nowhere. This is unfathomably fucking dogshit writing, but you know, par for the course. So he texts her, and in literally 2 seconds she replies back.
Lex is holding Superman in a pocket universe.
Now, after Jimmy tells this to Lois, I would expect her to stare at him for 10 to 15 seconds, then laugh hysterically in his face and say, "What in the shit are you talking about, you bumbling fuckface retard?" But not only does she not do this, but she just instantly believes him. There's no proper acknowledgement of what Superman is trapped in a pocket universe means. You know, that kind of sounds like he's in a separate universe from our own, but surely that's not what it is, right? That's absurd. It must be some sort of euphemism or something. Maybe it's what Lex calls his sex dungeon.
I don't know what a pocket universe is, neither does my source. They don't know anything about anything, really, but for sure he's in a pocket universe.
So Jimmy thinks his source is so retarded they don't know anything about anything, including what a pocket universe is, and yet he is sure Superman is in a pocket universe, despite himself not knowing what a pocket universe is, because that source says he is in a pocket universe. Every part of that is retarded, including that she does not know what a pocket universe is. I mean, at least she knows it's a portal to another universe, which is just what it is. Is Jimmy just assuming she wouldn't know? Keep in mind, she can't have texted him much in literally 2 seconds. I assume she just texted him what he said aloud. It's a talent to write a line so broken and contradictory, and Jimmy is a journalist. I don't know, bro, maybe add a follow-up question to the claim Superman is trapped in a pocket universe, you cunt. Also, Jimmy has her in his contacts as mutant toes. Tad misogynistic, putting a girl in his phone as one of her apparently ugly features. And Lex would bang someone with mutant toes. I guess it's meant to be funny. Is this what comedy has come to? Mutant toes? Really?
Who's your source?
I can't say, but you owe me.
Why can't he say, hello movie, maybe write a line that makes any semblance of sense? Is it because he's embarrassed about his love life? That's what we want to go with. Not like the stakes are high, not like he just got given the most insane claim that's ever been claimed. And okay, Lois just found out, and somehow believes, that after Superman, Clark Kent, her boyfriend, after he turned himself in, the government said he has no rights to then give him to Lex Luthor, the guy who killed or took his dog and revealed the evil message. The guy that seems to obsessively hate him, who is now holding Superman in a pocket universe. Now, what is her reaction?
I love you, Jimmy Olsen. I love you.
Oh, she reacts with joy and happiness. I was expecting more like shock and despair. You know, Clark might just be getting killed and tortured, but hey, at least Lois got a good scoop for an article. We'll get to that. I thought this level of sociopathicness was out of character, but then I remembered she couldn't even comprehend why someone would care about a dog. So I suppose she just has trouble with the whole feelings thing. Such casual character obliteration. I won't say character assassination, as there's nothing to assassinate with any character in this movie. You can't kill nothing. Also, with this connection, you'd think Jimmy is utterly brain dead to only just now try to get the information. But no, it's actually really funny, because Lex's girlfriend is obsessively in love with him, but he does not care for her. And that's why he didn't want to start the conversation. You know, because now she wants to meet up and is sending emojis. Ha 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 ha. Am I crazy, or wasn't Guardians of the Galaxy a genuinely funny movie?
I have a plan! I have a plan!
Cease your yammering and relieve us from this irksome confinement.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with the walking thesaurus on that one.
Do not ever call me a thesaurus.
It's just a metaphor, dude.
His people are completely literal. Metaphors are gonna go over his head.
Nothing goes over my head. My reflexes are too fast. I would catch it.
I'm gonna die surrounded by the biggest idiots in the galaxy. And Quill, your ship is filthy.
Oh, she has no idea. If I had a black light, the place would look like a Jackson Pollock painting.
You got issues, Quill.
I just saved Quill.
We've already established that you destroying the ship that I'm on is not saving me.
When did we establish?
Like 3 seconds ago!
No, I wasn't listening. I was thinking of something else.
Oh. That dude there. I need his prosthetic leg. His leg? Yeah.
Here you go.
Oh, I was just kidding about the leg. I just need these two things.
What?
No, I thought it'd be funny. Was it funny? No, wait, what did he look like hopping around?
I had to transfer him 30,000 units.
There's one more thing we need to complete the plan. That guy's eye.
No, we don't. No, we don't need that guy's eye.
No, seriously, I need it. It's important to me.
What happened, man? What happened? Lex has thousands of mind-controlled monkeys in a pocket universe, making fun of Superman on Twitter. I would have to get waterboarded to put something so blatantly retarded into my movie, and yet there's people out there just doing it for the love of the game. Dog.
This is our private correctional institution. Most cells are rented out to governments who want to keep their incarcerations of political agitators private.
Because keeping political agitators alive in sky cells in a pocket universe is easier than getting a gun. I swear to God, this movie.
Florette wrote a blog about me. There are a few things I hate more than petty ex-girlfriends.
How many people has he got working for him? And not one person is like, yeah, maybe this whole hundreds of people being tortured in sky cells in a different universe is going a little too far, in my book. Also, you know how people eat and drink and then proceed to piss and shit? How is all that happening? Everyone is looking shockingly fine, considering the circumstances. Lex would need to bring in so much food and drink. And with the piss and the shit, I mean, what the fuck? And there's the fucking monkeys. What is even the point of anything? Everything's just shit and piss and shit and fuck. Mind-controlled monkeys being mean to Superman on Twitter in a pocket universe. Did they all set up their own accounts with their own emails? Or did Lex do all that? Everyone making fun of Superman on Twitter is suspiciously named Give Me, followed by the food they currently wanted at the time. I struggle to get any data walking down the street, but fuck me, I guess I should have gone to the alternate universe for some better connection. What's actually on their computers? What the fuck am I looking at? Is this meant to be some Twitter-like website? Why the fuck does it look like this then? This little guy's is Cape Hater. Real original, lucky it wasn't taken. And wait, I guess that his chosen display name is Mbot. Mbot, that is this little fella's Twitter name. Okay, and his profile pic is a monkey with headphones on. Alright, and fine, I'll debase myself and point out something that I hope to God does not need pointing out. In real life, we have these things called bots on social media. You may have come across them. Now Lex could have just flooded everywhere with these bots, but instead he chose the bots to be monkeys in his other universe. On Letterboxd, this movie currently has the same rating as Iron Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Joker. We truly do live in a society. Oh yeah, I skipped over the fucking construction flimsying for a monkey to get sent to the abyss. What is this movie? Why did that happen? Why has Lex not just made a floor? He wouldn't have to hover around then either. The random fucking shit in this movie.
You wouldn't be telling me any of this.
If we ever planned on letting you out? No. You'd be terminated already if it was up to me. But first, the government has some questions they want answered.
So again, for the record, the government are evil or retarded or both for letting Lex do this with no supervision. And again, why does Lex, the evil man, need the government's approval to kill Superman? I can't understate how downright preposterous, that's right, preposterous that is, unless maybe he's just going along with it for the memes. Because even if Lex, for some fucking god knows reason, cares about what the government thinks, he could just say, oh yeah, Superman started killing everyone, so we had to kill him. And the fuck's the government gonna say? Is that easy? But no, again, I'm sure we're gonna get some great reasoning why Lex hasn't just killed him this whole time. Because I mean, the movie can't be that bad, right? Surely. So Element Jizz here has a baby, and Lex is threatening to kill the baby if he doesn't keep Superman in check, by having the baby be put in a sky cell with a dude opposite to them. Okay, for starters, this disgusting freak has a baby, so I have to assume he got a lady to let him lay down on top of her. Are you fucking kidding me? How is that meant to make me feel, you know? Because I'm not an ugly freak mutant, and my cock isn't made of a mismatch of different elements. Well, technically, I guess it is. And yet I still can't get any ladies to let me lay down on top of them. I mean, just look at this guy, come on. And then there's a Jimmy guy over there who can get every woman in the world, but especially the ones that affect the plot. You know, I thought Superman was meant to inspire hope, not despair. And why in the shit is a baby green? Is he not human? Is Element Jizz not human? Is his sperm also fucked up? But he can still procreate with a human lady. And in any scenario, I still don't get how the baby's green when he is clearly not green. And stay with me here. Let's say Element Jizz found a lovely lady who either loves him deep down for who he truly is on the inside, or has a very, very unique fetish. Anyway, she lets him lay down on top of her, and with his rock hard cock, which may or may not actually be made of rock, yada yada, she gets pregnant. Then, in a hospital bed, 9 months later, the day is finally here. The doctor's like, the baby is coming. I see a foot. Ah, why the fuck is it green? What the fuck? Ah, help me, the baby's fucking green. And it's CGI'd, what the fuck? Ah. I humbly apologize, I seem to have drifted off topic a bit. Well, back to it. Element Jizz has a baby, which Lex is using as a hostage, with a guy trapped in a cell opposite. He doesn't need to see the baby to know it exists. Why is it here? That's how things can go wrong. And why is a baby and a guy in a sky cell? I feel bad for the goon. What a shit job he got. And what if he needs to sleep? Then Element Jizz might help Superman. If this is what happens, I swear to the Almighty. No, surely there has to be some sort of setup Lex has in place so that that can't happen, right? Right? The goon seems to have forgotten to bring his gun, so I guess the threat is he's going to go medieval on the baby's ass. A whole lot less of a believable threat than if he had remembered his gun. Element Jizz may just play the odds and help Superman. Lex is both a godlike genius creating universes and is also one of the dumbest motherfuckers ever put to screen. But that just shows how complex his character is. The layers, man. The layers. Also, the baby especially is going to need some liquids and nutrition if the baby dies and there's no threat. And I don't know what the fuck this green shit needs to live. I guess formula will do. Another thing, if Lex can't just create kryptonite, which he can create a universe, so if he can't create kryptonite, why doesn't he just chop off the guy's arms as a kryptonite farm? Isn't that strat so obvious?
I'll be back tomorrow to get the answers we need.
Tomorrow? What? Isn't Superman all you care about right now? He's why you've done everything in this movie so far. You have just captured him with the government's authority. Where are you off to? What could you possibly be doing for a whole day? Ah, loud noise. What is with the random fake tension? This simply isn't a real movie.
Sorry we had to meet here, but Lex is always accessing the traffic cameras, so he knows where I am.
He lets you do anything on your phone and go anywhere, but tries to track you with traffic cameras? Because that will stop you giving away his secrets. This is all part of Lex's genius, don't you see? If only he checked the traffic cameras looking out for Superman, he might have just seen him flying into Lois's apartment.
There seems to be some sort of connection between Bravia and your boyfriend.
Bro, why are you caring about Bravia when, did you forget about the whole Superman is trapped in a pocket universe? Maybe ask her some questions about that. Lois published a news article titled, US defies Geneva Conventions by holding Superman in pocket universe. Now, I don't think any of this has anything to do with the Geneva Conventions, but I don't know enough about the Geneva Conventions to dispute it. What is really getting me here is if we assume that everyone is taking the term pocket universe to mean another universe from ours, then this would be the biggest news story ever written by orders of magnitude. Just the world finding out people can create universes. That's like maybe coming second as the most insane thing to possibly ever be told. You know, like after they've cracked time travel, or George released the Winds of Winter. And that's not including the government using it to imprison Superman. From everything in the movie, we have to assume the government doesn't actually know about it, but it is a very fine assumption from Lois. Instead, they just have infinite incompetence. Anyway, would you believe me if I said there's not a single reaction to this news article that the government is hoarding Superman in a pocket universe? Not a single reaction from anyone in the movie. It doesn't change a single person's actions at all. I mean, it's just a pocket universe, right? What's the big deal? And Superman's trapped in it. Haha, classic Superman. And the US government is behind it. Lol. I would think world building is even more important in a movie that's the start of a cinematic universe. But hey, I wasn't paid millions of dollars, so what do I know? I mean, it's getting hard to qualify how fucking pathetically awful this movie has got. No one cares the government can make universes and is keeping Superman prisoner in one. The world would implode with this information. It's making a universe. Like, what the fuck? A bunch of the world would be having an existential crisis that they might be in some other person's universe, being used as a car battery or some shit. The US government, after hearing this, don't follow it up and check in on Lex, but they're the ones being accused. Not even Lex acknowledges the article. There's nothing. He just goes about his business like he'd do otherwise. I assume Lois would be name-dropping Lex in the article. I mean, Jimmy said Lex is holding Superman in a pocket universe, not the government. I swear not a thought went into this movie. Not a single fucking thought. James Gunn just walked into the middle of a room full of people, pulled down his pants and took a dump. Just right there. And boom, that's the script. And everyone just clapped and cheered. Though having said all that, something did just occur to me. The Daily Planet seemed like an ultra legit and mainstream news place and paper, so how the fuck did Lois publish an article with that headline with what the fuck evidence? A singular text sent by some random girl to Jimmy? Are we fucking serious? Actually, hold up. Jimmy said he can't even provide her the contact.
Who's your source?
I can't say, but you owe me.
So Lois just went and published an article titled US Denies Geneva Conventions by holding Superman in Pocket Universe with literally no evidence. The most insane claim anyone has ever made in the history of human existence. I guess from that angle, yeah, it makes sense the entire world isn't believing that shit. Really, only Lex Luthor would, as he's the one who has Superman trapped in the Pocket Universe, though he knows the government doesn't know about it. So Lois is the shittiest journalist to ever grace the earth, and that's saying something. Also keep in mind, Lois's and Jimmy's plotline in this movie is trying to get enough evidence to make an article on Lex Luthor with the whole Bravia thing, and then she just writes this shit. Anyway, Lois goes to see the Justice Gang. Though it took an entire day for her to do so, I guess she was too busy writing that article. You know, the one about Superman being trapped in a pocket universe. The Justice Gang just seem unfazed about the government's holding Superman in a pocket universe thing, and don't seem very interested in the person who wrote about it.
He's in your group, right? What's it called again?
She doesn't know the name of the insanely strong corporate superheroes in Metropolis. Lois's journalism can go lower.
I can go lower.
And more insanely, she thinks Superman is in their group. She should know that's not true for every reason. She is Superman's boyfriend, for Christ's sake. How the fuck does she think this?
Justice Gang.
No.
We're not called that.
Your name is Mr. Terrific. You don't get a vote with a name like that.
I also voted against it.
And as leader, I get tiebreaker. No, Superman is not officially a member.
Because you don't want him to vote. You know which way that would go.
Shut up. He's kidding.
Superman isn't a member because he'd vote against the name Justice Gang. Or I guess that's just a meme. This fucking Justice Gang name thing is a running joke, though calling it a joke seems offensive to jokes.
Just another day in the life of the Justice Gang.
Not our name, just a working name.
Could very well prove to be permanent, though.
Probably not.
Green Lantern likes the name, the other two don't. I don't really get why at all. It seems like a fine name to me. I guess the angle is it's a bit cheesy. Though Green Lantern is right, he is called Mr. Terrific. How is that any better? And the name Hawkgirl even? I would also think pretending to be a bird is more cringe than the name Justice Gang. And I think Superman specifically would be fine with the name, so Terrific's joke doesn't really work.
How do you even know Superman anyway?
I just do.
So you know about the hypnoglasses.
Hypnoglasses. Please just be another shitty joke.
I'm not saying who he is, just that he wears hypnoglasses. They make his face terrific. How do they work? They make his face look different in your brain when he wears them so that you don't know who he is.
Yes, I know this, first of all, but...
Well, Lois confirms it. Why are we doing hypnoglasses, and how is the only mention of them some throwaway line? I've never heard tell of no hypnoglasses in my life, but apparently they're from some comic from ages ago, and James Gunn just had to have them.
Another thing that I want to say I love was the hypnoglasses. Oh my god, that was, what a great explanation.
The singular vague line where Clark isn't even in the room. What a great explanation for hypnoglasses. Whoever you are, I can barely understand what you're saying with how far James Gunn's cock is down your throat.
It's kind of been forgotten.
I wonder why hypnoglasses would get forgotten.
And I was like, you know, the thing that I just don't really know how to reconcile in myself is the glasses, because the glasses have always bothered me. As a kid, they bothered me because I don't have that much suspension of disbelief to believe that, you know, they're two different people.
Sir, you should not be allowed to even utter the phrase suspension of disbelief after making this dumpster fire of shit. The only way I could suspend my disbelief while watching this soy excuse for entertainment is by blowing my head off with a shotgun. And more specifically, you don't have suspension of disbelief for people not noticing Clark as Superman after he changes his hair, clothes, posture, mannerisms, and yes, wears glasses. I honestly just think it's believable. Christopher Reeve especially did an incredible job being convincingly different as Clark from Superman with his different personas. David Corenswet did a not too good Clark Kent in my opinion. In his Jesus 1 scene as Clark in public, one singular under 3-minute scene. That's certainly a choice. And I don't blame him for not even being in the same universe as Christopher Reeve's Clark, because I guess he wasn't trying to have a completely separate persona when his fucking hypnoglasses do all that for him? And why would you think hypnoglasses are more believable when you also provide no real explanation of why and how they work? Clark putting on glasses makes people see him differently, but like how? They only take up a fraction of his face. Like what actually happens? Would a hypno hat work as well? Or a hypno mustache? It's especially just pathetic when we, the audience, don't see the change. We are literally missing out on the way the world interacts. The way people see Clark, because he's got fucking hypno glasses on. How does he appear in photos? Like hypno glasses literally change how pixels look on a screen? It's nonsensical. And how are they made? There's no explanation. I guess you have to assume his robots made them, though that's not believable at all. They couldn't even get back the second half of a message. No shot they are doing whatever needs to be done to make hypno glasses. Maybe Clark has some hypnotic power which interacts with the glasses. Whatever, is all peak comic bullshit and is just there for no reason. Who asked for this? Also, Clark wouldn't have had glasses back in the day, right? In his hometown. So can he not go back now as Clark Kent? Because you know, with the glasses, his whole fucking face changes apparently. No one would recognize him. And I will appeal to something that, you know, I probably seldom appeal to. Fun. There is going to be some wacky shit with most superhero characters. Like no one noticing them changing clothes and stuff. But there's some things the audience can accept because it's a fun thing. And I think Superman having the different personas as Clark and keeping hidden by slouching and stumbling around, basically everything Christopher Reeve perfected, is much more fun to watch than knowing people don't know who he is because he's wearing some sci-fi comic bullshit on his face. Well, most of the audience can accept this, but not James Gunn. Mind-controlled monkeys in a pocket universe making fun of Superman on Twitter. Oh, all my disbelief is suspended. I suppose I do have to mention the only positive they give this movie, which I alluded to, Jesus, fucking too long ago. I guess they do provide some cope on the Lex scanning people's faces. Maybe with his hypno glasses, Clark can't be detected as Superman with Lex's scan. Because I guess Clark wouldn't have took any photos without his glasses on, and yeah, the hypnosis goes through the screen and whatever the fuck. And that's why Clark can interview Superman too. If you can stomach that level of cope, then all power to you. For me, I guess, I just don't have that much suspension of disbelief.
So you know he's Clark Kent.
Green Lantern forwards to Lois the fact that Superman is Clark Kent under no pressure because haha, it's some more great comedy. Surely the Justice Gang knowing about Clark being Superman does establish their friendship and trust in one another. The trust the Green Lantern just broke, but still.
Oh my God, why does he trust everyone?
This is what Lois is giving a shit about? Does she not think it might be a race against the clock for Clark to be killed? He's in a pocket universe with Lex Luthor and has no rights. Mr. Terrific, talking about Superman, says,
It would be difficult to find him.
And then directly after that statement, he says this.
I put nanobot GPS trackers into Superman's bloodstream. You can see where his trail ends abruptly right here at Fort Kramer, a dormant military post across the river about 10 miles down.
So not only could he find him, but he could find him to the fucking letter T instantaneously. I am almost certain these back-to-back lines are meant to have no irony. This is just dialogue in the year 2026. And run it back. He put what in his bloodstream? Nanobot GPS trackers?
I put nanobot GPS trackers into Superman's bloodstream.
That's certainly a way to move the plot forwards. And he did it without Superman noticing, as he says he does it to everyone, and the others look creeped out. Which, yeah, I would personally appreciate some consent before someone puts nanobot GPS trackers into my bloodstream. However the fuck he do that. From his tracking, Mr. Terrific comes to the conclusion.
So, all this leads me to believe, as your article surmised, he really is in a pocket universe.
And so Lois naturally says,
So, okay, come on, let's go to Fort Kramer then. The four of us and find out what's going on.
For the fucking bird to chip in.
And then do what?
And then do what? I don't know. Look into whatever the fuck a pocket universe is. And save Superman, who for 3 years has done nothing but good. Who trusted you guys enough to give you his true identity. Like, what more reasons do you want, you spineless fuck bird?
Save him.
You want to break a federally incarcerated prisoner out of jail?
It's not fucking jail, you fucking clown. It's a fucking other universe. How the fuck don't they care about that fact? It's unreal. Lois's comeback after that is...
Look, I think this is being done to keep him from interfering with the Baravian invasion.
Why does she think these guys give a shit about international politics when they aren't giving a shit about Superman being trapped in another universe? That's certainly not the line of argument I would go down.
No, you look, I'm a Green Lantern lady. That means I took a vow not to get involved in politics.
I mean, I guess that's something for why Green Lantern would be against Hope in Superman, however fucking retarded. It just seems like a real hard line to choose what counts as politics or not. Surely just seeing about some rich tech dude having a pocket universe wouldn't count as politics. He could do that at least. And the motherfucker is working for a private company in a building called the Hall of Justice. Not getting involved in politics, my asshole. Why wouldn't he just be a loner who does his own shit if he apparently doesn't get involved in politics? He then goes on to say,
Is Soup's here to take over the world? I don't know, probably not. But the risk is just not worth the beef between the U.S. government and the Justice Gang.
you are a cunt.
Not our name makes us sound like cowboys, but I agree with the rest.
You're also a cunt. You're both cunts. The US government might be torturing Superman for no reason in a pocket universe, and they don't want to help him because they don't want beef with that same government. This movie does not realize how utterly despicable and unlikable this makes these characters. And like, I mean, it's just impossible these characters would be like this. The movie is just so beyond lost in its own source.
So you're just gonna let your friend rot in the pocket universe?
Wow, what great heroes. Lois then leaves just for Mr. Terrific to go after her.
I'm not saying we're gonna save him, but I think we can at least check out what's going on with your boyfriend at this Fort Kramer.
Why he didn't give any arguments when they were inside, I do not know. For almost 30 seconds, we watched this door open. It's funny because it opens slowly. Ha ha.
You have a flying saucer, but you couldn't get a faster garage door?
I mean, I get it's slow, but you don't have to wait for it to reach the top. You know, you could save some precious time. Lex spent a whole day collecting this guy that they scanned earlier. That's why that happened. You'd think Lex would just execute the people already in the Pocket Universe instead of kidnapping civilians. You know, people tend to notice when people get kidnapped. Superman barely knows a guy anyway, so it just seems pointlessly extra. And I guess with all that time trying to kidnap the dude, Lex didn't have time to read a paper or open the internet, because goddamn, that news should be everywhere.
Who are you working with here on Earth?
So the government is trusting Lex Luthor to give Superman questions, and he does this by Russian rouletting the guy. If he actually wants Superman to answer the questions, then it's obviously stupid as fuck, because the guy might just instantly die. Oh dear. If Lex is max out evil and just wants to torture Superman, wouldn't actually torturing the dude be the best mental torture for Superman? Not just doing this, then oh dear. And wouldn't get any answer to this question.
Who raised you as a child?
Be the best way to torture Superman? Getting his parents, who you could then torture. Instead, oh dear. Also, wouldn't it be nice for the movie to present Clark with a tough choice? Lex kills this guy, or Clark gives up his parents. Instead, oh dear.
I'll be back later with someone else you've chatted with and I'll kill them too.
You're going again? The guy whose whole point is being obsessed with Superman only wants to see him for 2 minutes a day.
Maybe that reporter you always do interviews with. Maybe I'll kill Clark Kent next.
I guess Lex can't tell they're the same person because of the fucking hypno glasses. Whatever. Though, wouldn't the guy who interviews Superman be the first guy Lex goes after, rather than some dude who spoke to Superman one time? Maybe that's where Lex is spending his time, looking for Clark Kent.
Ironic.
Lois and Terrific pull up nonchalantly on the beach, surrounded by Lex's raptors, as he calls them, and some normal bozos. You'd think Terrific would tell Lois to stay in the spaceship until it's clear, but no. You'd think Lois herself would want to stay in the spaceship until it's clear, but no. Actually, you know what? Fuck that. Why has Terrific brought Lois here at all? At the evil guy's base with the Pocket Universe. You know, maybe it could be dangerous. Maybe there could be a shit ton of people with guns that want to kill them. It's not like Lois is fucking helping. It's insane that she's here.
That's his path. DNA trail leads to that tent.
How are the nanobot GPS trackers you put in his bloodstream connecting to his DNA? And are you kidding me? The path is Clark in his suit. The nanobot GPS trackers knew what outfit he was wearing that day, and they know his hands were tied behind his back as well. Okay, man.
I am giving you one last chance to stop!
I was just about to say the same to you.
What do you mean fire? They stopped, like you said. And if you wanted to just shoot them, you would have just shot them without the warning. So what the fuck? Anyway, so barely dodging execution, Terrific launches a force field that blocks the bullets just in time. Jesus Christ, a little close for comfort. Lois dodged death by a frame or two. And then one of the most laughably pathetic action scenes I've ever seen happens. So what's the situation? Outside the force field, there are, just taking this frame, at least 10 Raptor guys, probably more, with armor and laser guns who can fly, and there's a lot of bozos who might have some sort of guns in the tents they could pull out, who knows. Mr. Terrific has his balls, whatever they can do, and I don't know if he has any armor under his tracksuit, and no one knows if these guns will go through any of the armor he may or may not have, and his head is exposed regardless. Currently, Terrific and Lois are chilling in a force field, taking fire from the goons who just keep firing at it like that's achieving anything. So I guess the best plan would be Terrific just staying in the force field and using his balls from inside. He can explode them and shit. Though damn, they might just be screwed if any of the bozos around him stop shooting the thing that can't break and attack the balls creating it above. Jesus, that wouldn't be good. Whatever, depending on what Terrific's balls can and cannot do, I don't see any alternative strategy, and he rolls out of it to punch a guy. Terrific. Why in the world would you leave your protection where you can control your balls to just punch a guy who has a gun? Jesus Christ. And wait, the balls just left Lois's force field, so he can just make long-lasting force fields and the balls aren't needed, and yet he still decided to do this. Whatever, at least he's still using his balls to great effect by having them hover about. Nice. What a fucking start. Luckily, the guy he punches has the reaction time of a bonged out grandmother, but what about all the other people with laser guns? Well, also luckily, one of these guys seems to have decided to cease to exist. That's always handy. And the next closest guy, what the fuck? He's just standing still to then waddle towards him. Brother, you have a laser gun, just shoot him, you cunt. And what about the 3 guys behind that guy? What are they doing? Look at this guy, looking out for one of his Hawaiian shirt dudes, telling him to get out of here, which he was clearly already doing. Speaking of the Hawaiian shirts, this guy previously was scrabbling out in this direction. Makes sense, he's going away from the fighting, to then be on the floor here. What the fuck, man? What made you stumble in that direction, nearer to the barrier, in the way of all the shooting? And then there's at least this guy, maybe the other guy, who is obviously gonna be in blatant view of Terrific off screen to the right here, but instead of shooting at the guy outside the barrier, we see them shooting at the force field bubble with the lady inside. And this shot is coming from the fucking skies. So some guy flew up just to shoot the impenetrable barrier with an unarmed lady inside, when Terrific is fucking punching a guy outside of it. And yeah, remember all these people have flight? We are just 2 seconds into the fight, not counting them shooting into the impenetrable barrier for a while. Oh boy. Then it cuts to Lois's face for the next 5 seconds, perhaps to cut away from the utterly embarrassing display that's taken place. But then after, the whole fight is either on Lois's face, how riveting, her mouth is certainly agape, or it's shot from Lois's shoulder, probably so the fight is as hard to process as possible to hide its patheticness. I'm sure it helps that there's a bit of a bop playing in the background. 5 years time, which Filthy Frank, or Pink Guy, took from to make the song Help.
Well, in 5 years time we could be walking around a zoo.
I wake up in the morning sinking halfway to the bottom. There's a loud distorted screaming in my soul.
which is much more apt to my feeling of this scene and movie. Oh yeah, and it cuts here to here, skipping a few seconds of Lois standing up. I'm sure that's an intentional passage of time. Behind Lois, we see 4 goons just repeatedly shoot at the impenetrable barrier with Lois inside. That's a great use of time, guys. Just keep jamming the squares into the circle. You might eventually be able to kill the unarmed woman. Don't worry about the guy attacking you on the other side of a barrier though, you fuck turtles. Oh, and another guy just standing still shooting at the fuck you. You see your teammates flying? Maybe try doing that. And you in particular must be in line of sight of Terrific. He's right there, motherfucker. Wait, is even this bloke shooting at Lois in the thing when Terrific is literally closer to you than her? This shit is embarrassing. And wait, so Terrific must have just been doing fuck all in the same spot as he punched the guy the entire time we've been looking at Lois. He hasn't took anyone out, but they're all surrounding him. But he also hasn't got shot. In what world? Who made this? How was it? They all have laser guns. Whatever. He then takes out at least 3 instantaneously. Hard to know exactly how many because the camera is trying to make you throw up. And why not do that before? Why not do that when inside the impenetrable barrier? Which this clump of cell is still fucking shooting at, you cunt. You fucking cunt. Why is this dude doing a Sieg Heil? This dude just collapses. Oh yeah, just go in for the punch, you fuck. Don't press the kill button. What is this guy in the front doing? Is he trying not to be seen by bumbling into the scene? Oh no. This dude gets hit in the head and proceeds to do a front flip. This guy falling near these guys makes them both collapse. This guy close somehow fucking catches one of the balls to then do a somersault, to then get electrocuted and sick out some fucking electrified water from his insides. Okay, 2 goons run straight at him, nice. This guy was at least shooting, to be fair, but unfortunately he ain't too big on the aiming. Wait, and this is my favorite part. Check this fella in the back, just swinging at the air with a clipboard, getting some warm-up swings to what? Hit at Terrific? That shit's awesome. Another dude is just charging right at Terrific. A fucking dude comes flying from the back to shoot at Lois. Fucking Lois still, to then collapse into another dude. These fucking goobers. Terrific punches a couple more guys, then flies with his balls. These 2 weren't on the ground here before, so they both must have off-screen got to their places to then only get up to run away just when Terrific came over to them. And Terrific takes out the last guys and it's finally over.
Holy shit.
Holy shit indeed, Lois. Holy shit. I mean, goddamn, the fight lasted 50 seconds, but it felt like a lifetime because of, you know, all the suspense. Whatever, good job, Mr. Terrific. But everyone you took down is wriggling around. Surely they will get up to then shoot at you again. Like, hello? Wait, are we actually gonna pretend like that's not gonna happen? Seriously. No, like, seriously. Also, Lex will obviously get instantly alerted of shit going down here if from nothing else but a phone call, text, or an ad on Discord from one of the hundreds of people that are around, and then he'll send in Strongman and Robot Lady, and then Terrific and Lois are screwed. Yeah, none of this happens because the script doesn't want it to, and Terrific clearly isn't worried about any of this, as he doesn't call up the Justice Gang, you know, his friends with superpowers. Whoa, that was so informative and entertaining. How about that? And that ending too. Goddamn. Okay, I'm not sure exactly where I'm actually gonna end this part because basically I said before I've got like copyright shit. One of the Warner Bros is just doesn't let me get shit out. And my last video was even shorter than I wanted it to be, but I'm gonna try and maximize this one to be as long as possible. So I'm not sure exactly where it's gonna end. But and if for doing rambles at the end of the video, or just don't think it's a terrible idea because I'm not good at rambling. I start talking about rambling. And then it's too many. It's like then it gets all confusing. I had that thing the end of last video where I compared James Gunn writing, or I guess I could say who could write a better story than James Gunn, and I compared him to the gorilla eating an apple, and then he has some like Vietnam flashbacks or some shit whilst eating the apple. But you know, I think we peaked with it. I think I peaked with that. You know, that was gonna be a running joke. And I was thinking of maybe like saying like a potato could write better than him. If I thought that might be funny. But then it's like, that's just silly. You know, potatoes aren't conscious. That's just ridiculous. At least like the gorilla could like, you know, got more going for him than a potato. You know. So basically, it's depending how long this video is and how long the next one can be. It's gonna be 3 parts or 4 parts. I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna go. See ya. See you guys.